So this could be a strictly worse version of something else, you know, referring to the red-black mid-range Kroxa decks that have been going around already. But the basic idea seems sound. Kroxa is a giant, and Glimpse of the Cosmos flashes back out of your graveyard if you control a giant. So we have a bunch of self-mill things to dump Kroxa and cards to escape Kroxa, along with Glimpse of the Cosmos to generate card advantage after we escape Kroxa into the bin. We also have other good giants like Bonecrusher Giant, and Quakebringer here is technically another card that generates value when we mill it and then escape Kroxa. So this deals damage to our opponents every turn if we control a giant. One kind of cheeky card, since we're into blue anyways, that I want to try here is King Nefari's Betrayal. So the self-mills for 4 mills both players, actually. And then you get a creature or planeswalker out of each graveyard, and then you can cast the cards that this mills. This is a self-mill card that could technically also be a draw to in the right situation. One of the big upsides we gain from playing blue is that I do think that one of the black-red's harder matchups are the Yorion decks and things like the Sultai deck. So because we were going into blue for this idea, gaining Disdainful Stroke in the sideboard feels like a lot of potential upside. This card is one of the best cards you can have in the Yorion matchup. So in addition to getting to do this kind of cute thing in the main, we also gain this sideboard tool, which seems potentially very good. I am going to go ahead and swap these Blood Chief's Thirst out again. I've been a little bit low on that card the more we've played. I'm going to replace it with Eliminate. Blocking's a way to deal with Crawling Barrens. Killing your opponent is a way to deal with Crawling Barrens. I guess this technically, I'm not adding this card. So like, people in this format are way too obsessed with dying to Crawling Barrens. You people need some help. Eliminate is largely better than Blood Chief's Thirst, in my opinion, because of Lovestruck Beast. Killing Lovestruck Beast on turn 3 is so very important in this format to deny Great Henges coming down. So having ways to do that is important, and Blood Chief's Thirst doesn't do explicitly that. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with some Grixis Giants here and see if this feels reasonable. And if it feels reasonable, then the second question we want to ask ourselves is, does this feel worse than just normal blue-red? Or normal red-black, sorry. Are we making improvements in some spots, adding a third color, or is it just silly? That lots of decks have in the format. All right. We don't. I reject your feels and substitute my reals and challenge your statement of card lots of decks in the format have. I'm gonna pull up MTG Melee here real quick and look at deck lists. Dimir Rogues, nope. Rakdos Sacrifice, nope. Is it Tempo? Sometimes, but usually nope. Grawl Adventures, nope. Naya Adventures, nope. Teamer Ramp, nope. Mono Red Aggro, nope. I think Food usually plays it either. Cursory glance says some Food decks play it, but like for the most part, it's not super popular. Ain't worried about the rope. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Calm down. Oh yeah, you're never grandfathered into a lack of accountability on this channel. If anything, when you've been here longer, I demand more accountability from you. Because if you've been here a long time, you should know better. Okay, so this is important. So Nefari's Betrayal says you may cast, which means I can't play this as a land. Signor, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Voyus, thank you for the 25 buns. Yes, Blake and Trusty, exactly that. If I'm being as strictly as competitive as possible, I should have snow basics in my deck. I'm choosing to play with the cosmetics that I like and putting myself at a strict disadvantage while doing so. Alright, 2 shots at a land to cast this Goldspan next turn. So, you can only cast the cards you hit with this for the 2 turns afterwards. So, exiling this has a little bit of risk. I can't guaranteed cast this if we miss on the land. If we hit the land, we'll be able to jam it, though, which is nice. If we hit the land next turn, we get to go Goldspan off of here and Heartless Act something, which sounds stellar. Wonderful. See a great henge here. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Gonna proactively Heartless Act this Lovestruck Beast just in case they have a henge next turn. Second Fabled Passage unfortunately means that if they have henge, they're gonna get to cast it. Don't cut Cleave from your red aggro decks, chat. Don't do it. So many people are cutting Cleave from that archetype and not playing. They're playing like less than 3 copies of Cleave. It's so wild to me that people would register less than 4 copies of Cleave. Let's bring in some removal spells and some shredded sails. Click submit here. Yeah, they're packing a bunch of random card advantage into their deck instead of cards that kill people. It's really weird. Would like an untapped land tier on 2. Ideally a blue source, so we can go Mire Triton and Glimpse. Nailed it. This Twitch stream was pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. And we can fetch a tap land and Cosmos next turn. Another untapped land is nice. Get to do this. You can thank Kroxa for less cleaves. Maybe he's playing the long con, like telling people to play less cleaves, that way he dies to cleave less. That would be the big brain play. Moogloop, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So can't stop a henge from happening, but can stop them from drawing more cards with that one at least. This is a giant for down the line to flash back these glimpses, which is sweet. Block while we can here. Block while the blocking is good. Oh, and they have another stomp? At least it wasn't cleave, huh? That could have been a cleave there. Okay. They didn't have cleave last turn. Maybe I should have kept that. That's a tough call. Good. It could have also been right to take a second dragon last turn. Oh, they found an escape card. That's scary. Alright, let's try and play a game where we don't have 16 lands in a row. Need new game? Yeah, maybe. Glimpse not quite enough to power us through 6 or 7 lands in a row there. How many lands is this stuck on? Six, 10, 14, 18, 22, 24. We're on 28 with 4 Shatterskull Smashing, so 24 just lands. Side, I guess. We need all of our colors consistently. The fact that Cardboard Live went through the trouble of, like, having a visual layout of their deck list and just, like, didn't put the number of cards in each category on it just, like, slays me. It's a good example, I think, of a developer not being the one that, that actually uses the product that they have. There is actually a Fling land split card. There's a 3-mana Fling that has a tapped red land on the back. So red, black, blue. I'm just glimpsing here. Our deck's gotta be fucking with us, right? The truth is out there. The shuffler's as rigged as the earth is flat. Wake up, sheeple. All right, glass half full. We are not drawing those 3 lands. Let's be a glass half full type person here and acknowledge the fact that those mills mean I'm not drawing those lands. Holy Jesus. Good golly. Mother of God. All right. I think I want to play another Calls the Dead and go digging for a Kroxa here. Morning, Big Mama. Cleave ho! Stop it! Cut the good card from your deck and play more Vivian's, opponent. Didn't anybody tell you you're supposed to be playing Vivian and not the good card that kills me? Didn't you get the memo? Am I supposed to just step on this? We're supposed to step on this. Okay, so the Bonecrusher Giant gets to come into play next turn. And then we can double glimpse out of the graveyard. That's exactly lethal, right? I can block 6 and then I take 9. I mean, to be fair, most decks are dying to the draws that we've died to. I know that's explicitly a Grixis problem, so much as it's a Embercleave kills people problem. I couldn't block the 3/3. Read the 3/3. And to the person that said I should have Shatterskull Smashing their 1/1s, the 3/3 could have also been a 1/1. So, yeah. Man, this hand could be anything, chat. Damn it, Bobby. Don't you dare show me 3 lands. God bless. Holy gosh, there's spells, chat. And there's a giant to flash these back. It's exciting. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So here's the thing, blue is the color. In my experience playing against archetypes like what this opponent is playing, you're right that there's a lot of grindy decks in this format, but decks like this don't really outgrind the Yorion decks. They win that matchup by killing them. The Yorion decks are the king of the late game end game. Like, Ugin kind of comes close sometimes to letting you outgrind Yorion, but even that's not the case. So rather than taking your deck and making it assume a role that it's not good at assuming, I'd rather just end the game, or if you don't think it's capable of ending the game, play something else that actually grinds. You know, I think I mean, grinding and wanting to grind is fine, just like, make sure you're not taking a deck that isn't designed to do that and making it assume a role that it's bad at, basically. Solomon 1, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And I won't profess to be an expert on these archetypes. I just know every time I'm playing against them and they drop a Great Henge, it's like, okay, we can play a game and I can go long here. And every time they cleave me, I lose the game. So my experience from this side is definitely, I'd much rather be getting Great Henged and getting Scalds of whatever than cleaved. Definitely calls the dead here, right? So let's Kroxa a card out of their hand and then Bonecrusher them. It's important to Kroxa before you Bonecrusher because you want them to discard a card, not knowing that Innkeeper's about to die. So what they discard could be impacted by the information that they're losing this. Okay, and again, like, this is a good example, right? Like, okay, they played Great Henge, and Great Henge is scary, but if they would have cleaved me in this instance, it wouldn't have just been scary, I would lose the game. Oh, I messed up my sequencing. So we only really need one blue source. We're going to play this as red. We're going to play this as black. Next turn, we'll be able to escape Kroxa and draw a card here. Klothys. Klothys is going to be a little bit slow on their side, all things considered. I'm going to get to utilize my graveyard stuff this turn. Yeah, literally emptying my graveyard in its entirety here. I don't know if this deck we're playing is good, but Glimpse Kroxa is a lot of fun. It might not be card advantage that's strong enough to be playable in this format, but I've been enjoying it for sure. At the very least, our deck seems functional. I don't know if its power level is high enough to be competitive, but it's definitely functional. Glimpse is one of the coolest cards from Cold. I agree. And it could just be that, like, this is one of those effects that we're going to need to wait till rotation for it to be playable. Like, maybe it's probably just not enough to keep up with, like, this crazy kind of card advantage out of Eldraine and, like, Yorion and stuff like that. It's a little bit too on, like, it generates card advantage, but it's, like, on the very fair side of the card advantage generation scale. And, like, even effects like this, it's like, would this card really be too busted if it was an instant? Like, could we have just pushed the power level on this a little bit and made it an instant to maybe make it harder, maybe make it more likely to be playable? Respond to the Great Henge trigger here. Kill it before it gets a counter. Yeah, that would be sick. You could glimpse onto Kroxa, glimpse in response to the Kroxa trigger on 3. The soundtrack on this board is so good. So we Kroxa here. We go double Bonecrusher Giant, and then next turn we get to Shatterskull Smashing through 2 of their blockers and maybe kill them. So again, just like talking about the difference between something like Hedge and Cleave, like if they had a Hedge Cleave this game, I would have died long before I got set up. But, like, they have Henge instead, which is, like, giving me a chance to, like, actually play a game. And, like, yeah, the card advantage from it is scary and kind of annoying, but it's a difference between, like, just dead and, like, having a chance. Should our deck be playing Cleave? Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. This was an incredible draw because it lets me escape Kroxa this turn. That's tapping, leaving red, black up. Leaving a blue too in case we get a glimpse. Yeah, that's true. If you consider the format with no bans, like you're comparing like Glimpse of the Cosmos to like Oko and stuff, it probably could have still been an instant. Are they out of white mana? Ah, rats. Does this enable Klothys? It does. That's scary. Yeah, I think we're good at this point, right? Okay, only have 5 cards here. I think the suggestion that our deck should probably just have Cleave in it is good. Yeah, we're not playing a bunch of the bad cards. Guard the gray. The basic idea of this was let's just play playable giant cards with the cantrip. That seems good. A lot of the cards that have giant synergy just aren't very good cards. Whereas like this effect is like pretty close to a playable effect on its own. Is the basic idea. Like this is arguably the worst card in my deck, and I think this is probably okay. His hand is 5 lands and it's missing blue. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. We'll bottom the glimpse here since we don't have blue mana. Was there any chance to Shatterskull for 0 and then escape Kroxa? Sure, but we're not winning that game, Diesel. So you are correct in that last game that was a legal line I could have taken, but that line does not end with me winning that game. I did not have a series of draws or lines I could take to win that game, so I conceded. Instead of continuing to waste time and taking game actions. Remember, winning games of Magic and card games in general isn't about just like taking legal game actions. It's about thinking through how do I win this game. Like what are the series of plays that result in me being the victor over my opponent? When there's no lines to have it out, you might as well just move on to the next one. Nah, I don't think that's true at all, Garth. The Yori index would much rather you try and draw cards rather than kill them. And it's not particularly close. The deck was unplayably bad, Drunkle. Did my kids watch the first Sonic? The first Sonic the Hedgehog movie is incredibly likely that is the last movie I will ever see inside of a movie theater. And I have mixed feelings about that statement. I'm not saying that it was bad. I'm just saying that I don't know that I'm prepared to have it been the last movie I ever watched in a theater. Yeah, I'm just saying, Rhino, like, again, that's where role assessment and stuff comes in. I'm not saying that generating card advantage in this format is wrong. I'm just saying if your goal is generating card advantage, you probably shouldn't be playing the Lovestruck Beast deck. The 3-mana 5/5 deck isn't the deck that's really about card advantage. I have no idea what this opponent is doing. They must be holding a giant. They must have like a Giant Slayer in hand, right? Oh, they're Naya and they're missing colors. That's what they're doing. Got it. I don't think it's a big deal if you can't remember the last movie you saw in a theater. Seeing films in a theater isn't something that everybody enjoys, and that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. Different people enjoy different things. There's 4 cards in the bin. So this will be 5, this will be 6. We'll escape Kroxa next turn. Oh, they're a Winota deck. Why is there Great Henge in your Winota deck? Come on, people. That's such an awkward tension, right? Like, see, like I said, people are just like putting this card advantage in all of these decks where it just doesn't belong. The role assessment in relation to deck building. There's a part in here about an upcoming Uro ban. Really? Where is that? We're planning an upcoming ban. We plan to ban Uro in Pioneer, Modern, and Historic. Really? How the fuck is that a footnote in a secret lair? How the fuck is this a footnote in a secret lair? Who made that decision? This should... No, just rip the Band-Aid off. Post the ban list update. Come on now. I mean, I'm super glad, but like, how is that a footnote there? All right, sweet. That is the strangest place to put that information. This is the strangest place to put that information. Yeah, well, we'll poke back into Historic after that happens. I don't know. I mean, like, the people saying, like, are they trying to hide it? This is definitely of don't assume malice when incompetence is the answer. Like, that's 1000% they done messed up. That's just a communication issue. I don't think they're doing anything malicious there. Bobo, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So, not to bag on Wizards of the Coast for, like, this, what I'm about to say is not intended to bag on them so much as it's just to describe why things like that happen. One of the long-standing issues Wizards has from talking to people that work there that I know and seeing how they operate from the outside as well is they have a lot of communication issues in Wizards of the Coast where, like, one department isn't talking to another, and like the way that ends up a footnote in a thing like that is probably like the secret layer people talk to the R&D people and they're like, hey, you're banning that eventually, right? We just want to footnote it, and they're like, they didn't coordinate when announcements were going up or something like that. Yeah, like there's nothing malicious with how that ended up there. It's almost assuredly just a breakdown of communication that they have there, which is a frequent problem that they seem to have. Yeah, and honestly, from to praise them for a good thing for a moment, it is great to tell your people in advance, hey, we're selling this showcase version of this card, but we intend to ban it. Like, that's a good thing. Like, that is good communication. Telling players that, I think we're the control deck in this matchup, so I'm gonna cut the cleaves and board in some extra removal spells. Yeah, to get credit where credit is due, despite their internal communication issues that they've basically always had, communicating to the customer that they intend to ban a part of this showcase printing that they're doing. That's a very good thing. That's great. This hand's, speaking of great, this hand's lovely. If they have a Winota on 4 and curve into it, we could be in trouble. So this hand gets to go Kroxa on 2, Calls the Dead on 3, Escape Kroxa on 4. Wait, there is a Spell Stutter Sprite in there? I don't care about secret layers in general. Damn it. I might have to get me one of those. I have to look now. I definitely have a frame Spell Stutter Sprite. Oh gosh, that's great. That's real cute. I'm a fan of most of these cards. Vendilion Click is on my short list of cards I would most like to be legal in Historic. If you said, Jeff, you get to pick one card to put in an upcoming Historic anthology, like, snap call, it's Vendilion Click. That card is a treat to play with. A delight. What else is on that list? My cards, we've talked about this before. Cards I would like to see added to Historic are a lot of cards that are like, I like to play, but are too low power level for other formats. So like, 4-mana Kaya. I think 4-mana Kaya is arguably one of the best Planeswalker designs ever printed. And I would love to be able to play that in a format that's not Legacy. Tezzeret Agent of Bolas would be a sweet one. Delver of Secrets, Huntmaster of the Fells, Lingering Souls. I would love it if we could get all of the sweet cards from the original Innistrad block, but without the really messed up ones like Faithless Looting and Gristlebrand. Like I don't want Faithless Looting and Gristlebrand. Those cards are a stain. But I would love it if we could get Huntmaster and Garruk Relentless. I think Snapcaster Mage is too good. Like, Snapcaster Mage is, like, super strong. Hey, Alcoaz, thanks for the follow and thanks for the brand new sub. Welcome to the channel. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I think I would pass on I love Snapcaster as a card, but I think Snapcaster is probably too good. Liliana the Veil is one I'm unsure on. I feel like I would say no to Liliana the Veil. I feel like she's borderline too good. Had to sub to celebrate the Uro ban. God bless. Yeah, Past in Flames is another good example of an obnoxious card I would prefer not be legal. Okay, so there's only 6 cards in my graveyard here, so we're gonna decline so we can escape Uro. To escape Kroxa, whatever this idiot's name is. We're talking about Uro. Hey, is that a chirp? Thanks for the 14 months. No, it's not a potential Uro ban. It's a guaranteed Uro ban. Where did it go? This is guaranteed Uro ban. Uro's getting banned in Pioneer, Modern, and Historic. It will continue to exist in Legacy where all of the design failures go. Oh, I'm gonna mill this, right? So it doesn't really matter. Maybe I don't play the Mire Triton now. If they go land Winota, we're gonna die in a blaze. I need to hope to fade that for a bit. Yeah, it could be Wallaby. I don't really have an interest in anything other than Historic in the short term. Even like, for example, even if they ban Uro in like Pioneer and Modern, like 3-mana Teferi is still legal in those formats. My Magic plans are basically I never intend to play against Uro or Teferi ever again. That's my plan. Those are things I never intend to play against. I just attack with this too. They're probably sacrificing this. Oh, they're like... That's neat. They're Adventures Winota. That makes sense. I think we're dead, though. Yeah, we're not beating this Winota. Jam Ben, thanks for the follow. Good morning. No? Oh, I misspelled Dark Ends. All right, got it. I understand. You made me do a double take there. I was like, wait, what? No, don't do that. Don't do that to me. Stop it. Great. Turn 4 Uro on the play. Turn 4 Kroxa on the play here potentially. Please remember to be safe and responsible if you're out in the world. Just because your state and local governments are lifting quarantine and COVID restrictions doesn't necessarily mean they should be. The responsible thing to do in most places that aren't like Australia or New Zealand, that are islands that have completely chomped things down, is to skip extra optional recreational things in the short term while we get vaccine distribution ramped up. A lot of places, especially in the United States, are opening things back up while numbers are still bad and lots of people are still getting sick and dying. I implore you to have a little bit of empathy and think about frontline and healthcare workers that have been stressed out and working a lot and literally dying to try and save people. Look at that. We skillfully milled non-lands here, so we can hopefully draw Black Source next turn. Well, I don't know. I don't know that it's strictly non-compassionate people aid drawing. I think there's a lot of people that are a little bit ignorant that think like, okay, the government says we can open back up, so it's safe to open back up, not realizing that like the people in their government aren't acting in good faith. Not realizing that the people in their government are like encouraging things to open back up because of partisan issues. I think we're just passing here yet. If they go land Winota, I want to stomp this plus eliminate the Bonecrusher Giant. Well, I'm super excited about that announcement because I had been wondering in the back of my head a little bit, how long can I fill a bunch of Magic content only doing Standard? And like, I'm enjoying Standard, so I imagine the answer is a little bit, but not having to worry about that and being able to dip into Historic sounds good. I think once vaccines are fully ramped up and stuff, Milla, and I've talked about this before, like, I envision myself like, you know, I would like to like go to a restaurant again on occasion or like take my kids to the children's museum once things are realistically safe, but like, I expect to continue to like wear a mask when I go out and stuff like that, especially during normal cold and flu season. I really hope that that's something that can be normalized in the United States like it is in a lot of other other countries where like mask wearing when people are sick or might be sick or it's flu season is just like something that's accepted. Untapped land. Untapped land. That's a perfect one. This lets us escape Kroxa, and we have enough cards in here to keep the glimpse, so we get to glimpse as well. And like, masks aren't all downside too, right? Like, they're a fashion accessory. You can customize them with different colors and fun patterns or logos of companies or brands that you like. You know, it's not like it's all bad. Nefari's Betrayal actually sounds sweet here, huh? We'll get to draw a card out of each graveyard and this will fill our bin back up. Maybe I'm supposed to take Heartless Act in case they have a window up. Yeah, I'm probably just supposed to take this. Yeah, it was funny. Like, people from the Midwest complaining about masks and like how it makes it hard for them to breathe. It's like, have y'all never gone outside with like a scarf wrapped up around your face before? Like, that's not a big deal to breathe in. Okay, so this is killing my stuff in a couple of turns, which is annoying. I have to kill this Kroxa, right? So we get to do this and take the last card out of their hand. And then we're in an okay spot here. Not amazing, but okay. We have to take another hit from this, which is annoying. Come on. Well, shit. I don't think we can beat that one. Yeah, like this has to attack. Yeah, that'll be a GG. All right, let's try one more with Giants, and then we're gonna play some Temur Dragons. Jay Hunter, thank you for the 2/3 of a year. Happy Uro is dead day indeed. I think my favorite picture about mask wearing was there was a picture of an idiot. Actually, I guess I could just say GOP congressman. Saying GOP congressman and idiot cover the same thing. But there was a picture of a GOP congressman who he was wearing a cloth mask that said, "I'm just wearing this so I don't get fined." and underneath his cloth mask, he was wearing an N95. So it's like he was wearing the cloth mask with the pandering message to the anti-science idiots while also wearing an actual mask because he understands the science, but he's just a grifter trying to peddle to stupid people. It was just like nothing true. Like it's just like this truly encompasses what your party stands for. There were my favorite, and there were a bunch of people that responded to the Twitter post that was in, that they photoshopped him with a bike helmet with a hat on top of it, and the hat said helmets are stupid. It was just like, yeah, it's just so good. All right, let's fetch a red source here. This will be a black source. We have an island. Yeah, I know what it's in reference to, but it implies that the only reason he's wearing a mask is to meet the rules of the house chamber. But wearing an N95 mask means that he clearly understands the risk that he and others are at. So like, you know. It's good to be back, John Charlie. The new set's been great. I've been having a lot of fun with Standard. I'm super excited about the Uro ban. Variety is the spice of life. Getting to play some Historic again sounds lovely. Definitely killing Lovestruck Beast on sight against the Great Henge deck. Need to drop some Calls the Dead next turn. I think I'm shocking this in. Bolting this in. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, John. Did anyone ever hit Shillionaire? So, Hoaglandia has 16 Shillionaires, which is kind of incredible when you think about it, because for people who aren't familiar, it takes approximately 1,200 hours of watching my content to achieve Shillionaire. So, like, the idea that there are 16 people who have watched 1,200 hours of my content is kind of wild. Super rewarded here for playing this last turn instead of the island. So we milled into Kroxa and then we drew the black source to get to escape Kroxa here. Doesn't it, Dr. Destroyer? I often used to wonder how condoms have the failure rate that they do, but then I saw how lots of people wear their masks, and assuming people put on condoms like they put on masks, it suddenly makes perfect sense. It takes longer if you lack self-control. That's true, the Drunk Owl. All right, so very clearly, mono green food, eliminate sounds great. Shredded Sails for Great Henge. I think this is probably a matchup where I do want Cleave to punch through their bigger attackers and close the game out. Betrayal's probably a fine Shrim. Shillionaire wealth needs to be redistributed to viewers. Don't worry, we have trickle-down Shillonomics in Hoaglandia. Every time there's a new Shillionaire, it gets easier for the next one. That's why Shillionaire currently only costs 984 shillings. We've had 16 Shillionaires. We're trimming Betrayal. Does it make sense to cut our island? No, because island is 5 blue sources with Fabled Passage. So this one island gives us also, like, I want all my lands. But yeah, this is 5. One island gives us 5 blue sources is the TLDR. This might be a matchup where we trim more blue cards though. I'm on the draw. Rankle's a little... doesn't play defense well. Sin's Demon, thank you for follow. Welcome to the channel. Oh, I need to remember to not put the deck list up when I'm in this mode. I need to leave it at the bottom. Otherwise, you're right, chat does block it. Good call. 17 months, Femi. Welcome back. I wonder how much longer later is necessarily. Hopefully it's Monday. Hopefully it's Monday. Man, this one island is like really loves our hands this set. Hey Ben, thanks for the 13 months. Good morning and welcome back. Perfect. Just like we drew it up. This is technically another black source, huh? Probably need to keep this. Teferi is banned in Historic. Yeah, Historic's the only format that 3-mana Teferi's banned in, I believe. If I recall correctly. Yikes. One of your finest eliminates, please. Maybe I'm supposed to keep Glimpse there. None of those are the eliminate I want for Christmas. Want it for Christmas, but do it a pinch. Matthew Dauber with the almost 2.5 years. Good morning. Welcome back. How's Grixis been? It's been a little medium war game. Yeah, when Uro gets banned, I intend to go back to playing some Historic again. Grixis is as Grixis does, chat. Alright, so if I attack with this again next turn, I can Shatterskull for X is 7, which kills both of these. I just take this hit. 6, 11, 12, 13. I think I just take this hit, right? What's going on, Scholar? Thanks for the 23 months. Magic's been fun. I've been enjoying it a lot since I came back. Current format seems super... Oh, I could block a 1/1. Yeah, blocking the 1/1 was free. You right, chat fam. I should be +1. This card letting us ramp into big Shatterskull Smashings is sweet. Yeah, the Shatterskull animation is great. For sure. Hey, Scholar, that's super generous of you. Dealer's choice post Euroban good riddance. Thanks for the support. Okay. For that time I didn't kill one of these. That doesn't come back to bite us. Putting Bonecrusher in the bin is nice for my Calls the Dead, though. Nice for that, too. Yeah, command looks great. Has politics improved in the United States? We are better than we were through 2016, but things still aren't fixed by a long shot. I have cautious optimism. Things have not been corrected as of yet, but I am cautiously optimistic that they could be in the near future. I don't even know that status quo is fair, right? Like, House Democrats got $15 minimum wage into the COVID bill. If that gets through the Senate, like, that's a good step. There are a lot of if the COVID bill that passed the House gets passed in the Senate, that will be a very good thing. It is steps in the right direction, even if it isn't perfect. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. I'm gonna do one more with this. This deck hasn't been amazing in terms of win rate, but I'm enjoying casting Glimpse. Dems have a majority in both, kinda. So for people that don't follow U.S. politics super closely, the Democrats technically have a narrow majority in the Senate, but one of the senators. So it's important to understand that, like, Democrats aren't a monolith. There's a huge range of them. And there are a number of Democrats that are centrists or even borderline conservatives, like Manchin, that they have to get to agree to any policy that they're actually going to pass. Like, while they technically have a majority, it's thin, and it's still up in the air what they can actually have happen with that. Hopefully, okay, so here's the important thing. For people that don't actually pay attention to the scorecard, the actual information matters. Every time push has come to shove, Joe Manchin has voted with the Democrats. On very key issues, he has voted with them. So, like, don't write him off until actual ballots are cast. It is a potential problem, but it's not, like, guaranteed to be. Let's wait and see what actually happens before we, like, say, fuck that guy, right? Like, let's wait and see what he actually does. It could go either way. Optimism, chat. Cautious optimism. I implore you. It ain't perfect, but cautious optimism. When does the vote in the Senate happen? I don't know offhand on that. think we're just playing Triton to start here. It's pretty important that I play something that impacts the board, I think. Half quarter, thanks for the sub gift. Good morning, good morning. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. Our deck's not really built in a way that has an answer to this, right? I guess the line is technically like Heartless Act this, and then hope that they don't have a creature so we can Rankle sack them off of this. But that's like pretty unlikely, right? I appreciate the thoughtful discussion of political topics in chat. Y'all are great, Hooklandia. Let's move off of them for now. And remember, if you want a place to talk about politics endlessly with myself and other Hooklandians, the Discord server is a great place for that. There's all sorts of great channels in there. There's gaming, magic, Runeterra, politics, the capitalism casino. Lots of great things to talk about with your fellow Hooklandians. All right, sweet. So we get to destroy this, and then if we stick that land next turn, Rankle gets to trade with this. God damn it. Yikes. All right, so running Rankles could still get there, right? And we bricked. Gosh, if we hit a land and then they drew a land, we'd have a real good shot here, I think. Definitely want the Shredded Sails. This is a matchup where we're not a cleave deck. Definitely want to be the defense here more likely. And I think Nefari's Betrayal is a card I'm not interested in. I had to check what the capitalism casino was. I wasn't disappointed once I saw it. Yeah, that's the stock market room. Yeah, I think Maul the Skyclaves is a great design. Maul the Skyclaves feels like a fair Embercleave to me. I like that equipment design a lot in general. Is this an Akroan War matchup? I was mostly keeping this for like the monster style decks. I also like don't have a ton of way to sack things. This might just be a bad card in the sideboard in general. It could be that this board wants some disfigures or soul shatters for killing indestructible things. That stupid 3/1. Yeah, the design of equipment auto-equipping the first time it comes into play can be good if the equipment that you're stapling that onto isn't defensive. Big agree with that. Cleave's problem isn't strictly the auto-equip so much as it's the rules text past that. Yeah, I like Demonic Embrace's design too. There, another good one, 2.2. Let's grind some cards out of their hand to start here. They mulligan low, so... Yeah, that's actually, so people have asked me how do you fix Embercleave, Jeff? You dislike it? That's actually probably the correct answer. If Cleave cost like, what's a good number for Cleave's re-equip to cost to? What if Cleave costs like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 to re-equip? Yeah, like I think that would actually be, I don't know why I've never considered that. I'm not a game designer. I don't have to do these things. If I was told I could rebalance cleave. Yeah, I think that's actually the change. I think you could leave the making the equip cost exorbitant would make removal spells way better against it, right? Which I think is ultimately the balance change that effect needs. Like if you could kill the thing and then but Maul is 4 mana to re-equip. Big agree. So, patronizing Porpoise, the play patterns surrounding Cleave in general just end up being different if it costs more to re-equip. So the current stat line of Cleave basically doesn't incentivize you to use removal because it's so cheap to equip, which is why it feels so bad. Whereas if the equip cost is different, how you behave around the card looks entirely different in general. All right, and these Kroxas here are actually going to be pretty reasonable answers to these Hollow Blades, right? We might stabilize this board with these two. Yeah, I agree. I think this current opponent's archetype is one of the best style of decks to have be good in Magic. I think this style of deck being competitive is one of the many reasons that this format is good. Decks like this being competitive are one of the signs that I look for that, like, this Magic format is good and I enjoy playing it. Oh, and I can't Heartless Act this one. That's funny. Let's do this to start. I think we're just doing this. It might be right to Heartless Act here. Although I think I actually want to go on the offensive here, right? Like I've got some chump blocks here. Yeah, I think we just start crunching them. Like put them under the abyss. Yeah, they're dead. They're dead to Kroxa triggers here. And we escape this and they die. My sideboard's not well constructed for this matchup. I wish I had a couple of deadweights, but with what we've got on the sideboard, this is definitely fine. Aegon, or whatever that god is, needs to exile 2 cards, is good in decks like this. I actually disagree with that statement. Like, if you watch the games that we're playing, I'm frequently emptying my graveyard to get Kroxa into play. So I definitely don't agree that I have extra bandwidth to exile more cards from my graveyard. I don't think I have room to play another card that taxes my graveyard. And I think if I did think I had enough bandwidth to play another card that taxes my graveyard, I don't think it would be that one. I think I would much rather play, another escape unit. I'm just gonna pass here rather than playing Mire Triton out into a stomp. This feels like a stomp. Marshall Mann, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Keeping me around. The front side of Egon fills your graveyard. That's true. That's true. So is it, you think it's worth playing for just the front side then? Would be what you would offer up? I could maybe, or for the back side, I could maybe see that being the case. No, definitely not over Mire Triton. This card is very good. This card, no, you're not cutting Kroxa from my deck that's designed to escape Kroxa and Flashback Glimpse. Stop it. Stop it. Bad Twitch chat. Yeah, I can see trimming the top end. I think Rankle's like replacement level. I think that's fine. We definitely can, Wargy. We definitely can. Jeff about to get out a spray bottle and spray Twitch chat. It is big spray bottle energy. Yeah, Mire Triton is deceptively good. I agree with that. Mire Triton often reads kill target thing, gain 2 life, mill 2, which is just like an incredible text box in a deck like this. If we make this a Yorion deck, we won't have to cut anything from Egon. There's the big brain play. The biggest of brains. Yeah, its body goes in the bin to escape after the fact too a lot of the time, which is lovely. I think killing this is more important than killing this, huh? Feels that way. Okay, so I think with this line, I actually stomp this now, and then next turn I can hit them with Rankle and sack my 2/2 to kill their Lumen Arc. And I can discard this card for their last card. Okay, sweet. So, opponent could have decent draws here, but we're super far ahead at the moment for sure. I'm 1 card short of escaping Kroxa, so if I discard whatever I draw for the turn next turn with this, we can escape Kroxa. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to spend like 200 bucks on Amonkhet cards, aren't I? That's awkward. I wasn't playing when Amonkhet Remastered released. Or Kaladesh? No, I was playing for Amonkhet, I wasn't playing for Kaladesh. Yes, I was playing for Amonkhet, I wasn't playing for the most recent one. It's fine. I'm already back up 500 subscribers since jumping back into Magic 2 weeks ago. Hopefully we'll get back up to the 2,000 or so I was at before we dropped Magic. Oh, I could have drawn because Kroxa was going to make them discard. Yeah, that's a good thought. It's a good thought, because I didn't think about that. I missed it. It's a good line. Oh, I should have attacked with this too, right? It was free because of their life total. From some slops here. We're far enough ahead that it's not going to matter, but definitely had some slops this game. Arena's ready to be restarted, chat. It's been 3.5 hours. I want to do a deck tech before I restart Arena. Come on, I want to do a wrap up. All right, so thoughts on this? It actually was like more cohesive than I was expecting it to be. I think one thing I would potentially change is that I feel like I should turn these temples into blue lands. And the reason for that is it would be nice to have blue sources that aren't islands or just blue sources because they make Kroxa kind of awkward. It wasn't terrible all the time, but I think especially with 4 Shatterskull Smashing, I might try these as Temples of Deceit instead of Temple of Malice. I didn't really feel like I was short red mana ever. Akroan War felt awkward. I feel like I would want a couple more cheap pieces of removal. I think I would replace these with deadweights if I were to play this again. Having cheap ways that kill Hollow Blade sounds nice, but overall this felt reasonable. I'm a little sad that we didn't get to play any Yorion decks in that run, because I did really want to see how Disdainful Stroke felt out of this archetype in that matchup. If you're looking to tweak and tune things and change things around, the replacement level cards in this main deck, I think, are probably these 4 spells. I think I would consider all of these like must plays. Like all of these were good in different spots, and these were just like kind of whatever. They were like fine, but also not amazing. So if you're looking to try out some different tech cards or spells that you want to try in here, I think this would be fine. We would not split the Disdainful Stroke card, so it's important that we have different strokes for different folks. So the Disdainful Stroke split's intentional. All right, let's restart the client really quick.